Wubba lubba dub dub, my belly buttons. Today we will be doing some more raids. Now, since the last video, I've been upgrading a few things, namely my gunboat. It's now level 4. For some reason it was level 1. For some reason I overlooked that. Of all the things to overlook. And we're just going to collect some diamond chests, and we're going to raid a few villages. Let us start with Pin Down. Oh, okay, this is good. So, I'll just let them take out that machine gun, and I'm going to take out the quarterback. Something I've noticed is that the defenses and gunboat abilities are pretty much the same. Like, the artillery fire is the mortar/cannon, the rocket launcher is the barrage, the shock launcher is the shock, obviously. It's pretty interesting. It's like offense shooting at defense. I thought that was pretty cool. And down goes the base. And you can see the villagers popping up. Now, I'm not sure what I should upgrade next. I'm thinking I should stick to complete offense, but we're going to need 17 diamonds to upgrade our gunboat. So, let's consider our options. Here first, we're going to take out that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to flare over to the right side of the base, and they will work their way from the right over here towards the left. I plan to use the gunboat energy we retrieve from the oil barrel tanks over here to take out this machine. So that won't be as pressing a problem. Yeah. We'll just heal just in case. We don't want to lose Unlike in Clash of Clans, you get to keep your troops if they're still alive at the end of the raid. So I think that's pretty cool. So you can raid until your troops die, instead of having to replenish your troops every time you raid, which can get tedious. I know that they added in the function where you can pre-make your troop selection, kind of like how with the gunboat, you can't see it yet because it's not upgraded enough, but eventually you'll see loadouts, which are kind of like base configurations. So, for example, I would name this Heavy Rifleman, and if there was, like, All Rifleman or Heavy Zuka, I could just go to the gunboat, press a button, and then the loadout would be changed to Heavy Rifleman. So I'm looking really forward to that feature, which we will unlock at some point. Flame Bait. Let's go for Flame Bait next. Oh my. I'm the man with the plan, but... oh boy. Flamethrowers are very detrimental. They're way worse than machine guns, so, you know, we're just going to avoid completely. This is another reason why flares are a very interesting game, especially early on. Because you can completely skip the defensive portion of stages. Go straight around. And I really like that. It's kind of like StarCraft, where you can hit it from the back. And I guess that applies to jail, too. There's a lot of jail jokes. Just like, it seems to be a running gag in this series. Pun, somewhat intended. Oh yeah, the trees kind of fade to reveal your troops, kind of like in some games. I'm trying to think of a certain one, but you can see the outlines of things around the objects. Down goes the ancient. And along with it, we gathered some resources. And, of course, the only thing left to attack on our base is this player base right here. Now, player bases are significantly different from regular NPC bases. Player bases are, as the name would suggest, bases made by other players. Now, a lot of players, especially new players, they only consider what happens from the front. So they're just going to pile everything into the front and hope that it will keep your troops occupied. The thing is, we can flare behind their base, probably into the trees. Like, they back their things against the trees for some reason, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because watch what I'm going to do right here. The timer. So, we have 18 gunboat energy, and the flare goes up. The cost of the flare goes up with each flare we throw down. So we're going to need quite a bit of flare back to the base, so we have to conserve as best as possible. Okay. Later on, bases won't be this easy to circumvent. Pick your poison, because the HQ will have been surrounded. Players eventually catch on. You can also flare a building. In a lot of games, I see players not using focus fire. Like even in Star Wars. Yes, the thing about focus fire is, okay, so let's say you have 2 soldiers on one side and 2 soldiers on the other side. Naturally, they would just attack each other. One would take one, and the other would take the other. But that's not strategic, because you need to whittle down their fire. If you take both of your soldiers and attack one of their soldiers, they will be less of a threat because they'll only have 1 soldier while you'll have 2 or at least 1. So you're getting the individual enemies down faster, if that makes sense, because you're focus firing your fire on one enemy. It's the same with Boom Beach and many other games. You want to reduce the firepower if the odds are stacked equally against each other, and it's 50-50. If it's 50-50, you can do things to make that 80-20, and eventually 0 to 100. Them being 0 and you being 100, if you're strategic enough. Now I kind of cut it close because this border down here, right about here, I thought that was going to attack my rifleman because the heavy was packed pretty tightly next to the mortar. And if that mortar would have attacked my riflemen, I would have been screwed. Like, we would have failed the attack, and that would not be good. So what we want to do now is... Hold on, I'm gonna cancel my heavies for a second, just to... Level 5, okay. So, both of our landing crafts are level 4, indeed. And it looks like we have... Ooh. Wait, was this base here before? I think we just got that. Yeah, we can take that. But should we wait for the heavy to finish first? We don't have... We're just 1 gem short. One diamond short. I don't know what you'd call it. But that's okay, for I have a plan. And as before, we will also use flares. We're just going to be cutting it a bit closer this time. We need to make sure our troops are always on the move so that they can dodge the mortar fire with effortless ease. So we need to flare them into the mortar's blind spot, because that's going to be very important. Because watch this. See how the mortars are just sitting there like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's kind of like if you've ever played StarCraft. Now in StarCraft, there are these tanks called siege tanks, which can enter siege mode. And when they enter siege mode, they're these unstoppable bastions of long-ranged artillery, a lot like the mortar. But the problem is, they are susceptible to melee units, because they can't shoot at themselves due to splash damage. They blow themselves up. It's a similar concept here. So, if you want to destroy mortars and they're the main focus, you're going to want to flare your troops as close to the mortar as possible, with the end goal being that you get in its blind spot, and you summarily destroy it while it's defenseless. Kind of a dick move, but, you know, it's war. You do what you have to. You do what you must be done. Oh, there we go. It's just about finished. Another thing you may not know about, but you may if you've been playing for a while, is invasions. Yeah, okay, so if you go to the radar, I believe, and you, hold on. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. It should display something about... Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we have to upgrade the radar some more. I'm pretty sure that's it. We need to upgrade the radar anyway because we need more islands to conquer. But what I was mumbling about a few seconds ago was that you see how all of these villages are conquered? We don't really have anything to strive for on the offensive. So, the more villages you control, and the more of them have these money bags, or... No, they're not money bags, they're just regular islands. Huts. Huts of people, I guess. The more huts of people you have on your map, the more likely you are to be invaded. What an invasion is every 15 or so minutes, you have a certain % chance for one of these islands to be taken over by either an NPC base or a player base. And that percentage goes up for each one of these you have. So I should be in, like, expecting an invasion pretty soon. And eventually it'll let you see the stats, like, it'll actually show you % chance of a blackguard invasion, 2%. And it's usually really low because, like I said, it has 15-minute intervals. And, like if you were to go to sleep, you would probably wake up with a lot of islands, even though they have a 1% chance to have been taken. Just because there are so many intervals of 15 minutes. It just kind of balances itself out, you know? So, we have the radar being upgraded right now, so there's not much more ground to cover today. But yeah, you can see I've been focusing on offensive more. I upgraded the landing craft as well, I forgot to mention that. So yeah, we'll check in with this base later. And I really want to get the radar upgraded because you can see some pretty good things if you reveal a lot of clouds. Like, a lot of things. Eventually, you find Hammerman, in a way. He unveils this super weapon, and I don't want to spoil too much, but the people who figured it out and have been there know what I'm talking about. It's just kind of hard to explain. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The things that we have to build. We could build a residence, a gold storage, some defenses. I haven't been attacked yet, so I'm not sure how heavy I should go on the defenses. The support buildings, okay. So we can make one more landing craft, which we're going to need at some point anyway. So we will build that. The armory is another interesting building. Functionally, it doesn't act as a defense, but you can upgrade things there. Like all of your troops. So you can upgrade your heavies, you can even upgrade your gunboat abilities. Not your gunboat itself, but your gunboat abilities like medkit, flare, and artillery fire. So I think that about does it for today. We'll check in tomorrow and see you later.